children of the night. What music they make. They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hey, you final guys! What's up? We survived Scares That Care, and we are back. Minus Tim Meyer. We're in contract negotiations with him. He refuses to be on the show till we finalize a new year deal for him. But
he got sent back down to the minors after that performance last week.
He's now playing at Pawtucket.
Yeah.
So tonight, we are here, the original trio, to discuss Vicious Fun, which is very different than viscous fun. You can have a lot of viscous fun. It requires lube. But anyway, I'm joined as always by Heatstroke Jason Brandt.
Yo.
I saw you start to lift that glass. I'm like, I got to call him. And Sleepaway Champ Jack Campese.
What up, bitches?
And if it looks like I'm distracted, I discovered how to put Pornhub on my television. So I'm kidding.
Wow.
I'm watching Real Housewives of New York.
Those things called apps.
What's an app? An apps? I don't know. Appetizers. By the way, are you drinking like a White Russian, Jason?
It's iced coffee.
Oh, that is not a White Russian at all.
No.
Jack is having water.
Mm-hmm.
I am drinking Sea Dog Blue Paw, which is blueberry ale. Which, when I go to Maine, it's like the first thing I got to look for. Which I used to think blueberry ale sounded stupid, but it's really good.
Yeah, there was a blueberry beer I used to drink. I can't think of the name of it now. It's like 8%.
What?
And my brother was home from leave from Iraq, and we drank a case of it in like a night. It was like one of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
but the antioxidants were doing wonders.
It was one of those where you wake up the next day and you think you might die.
It was poop and blue.
Yeah, it's great.
Blueberry.
By the way, before we start the show, do we want to talk a little bit about Scares That Care?
Of course.
We probably should.
Who's your favorite person that you met for the first time? Hey, you like that prompt?
Wow. Just throwing that out there.
Not between us. Celebrities or, maybe
Billy Zane. He was the nicest.
Boy. Oh, my God.
Talk about a man who did not want to be there.
If he was paid to be there, he should refund that.
Seriously.
Look at Jack. Jack was the man for this.
Clearly, Felissa Rose was the best person I met.
Wow. Okay, my computer's running very, very slowly, so...
That's all right.
It's all right. Now I got the close-up, and I took it off.
Jack moves slowly, too.
Yeah, so Jack and I got to meet Felissa Rose, and dude, I thought she was going to, like, crawl into your skin. She was, like, all over you.
She was so cool, man. And she really did. Like, we were, like, best friends, like, 5 seconds into the conversation. It was amazing.
Yeah, she's such a sweetheart. She's the nicest person I've ever met at a convention, bar none. I mean,
so one of the things was that she was at Sid's old table, and she felt the responsibility, I think, of being at that table. She was like the anchor.
Wait, Sid Haig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would just sit there and glower at you and just every now and then point and go, Rudy fucking Tootie.
But
yeah, we did it from that table.
Yeah, okay.
And so she even said that Joe Bob had texted her earlier to see how she's doing and stuff like that. And so she was awesome. I brought her a drink later in the day, just walked over and gave her one. And she's like, Jack! So
she was the best. And, like, I loved her.
You got like 5 minutes with her or whatever. I don't know. We were there for like 10, 15 minutes talking to her. I got a little video and some pictures.
We were trying to get away because there were people waiting. And every time we tried to leave, it was just something else. She was amazing. Billy Zane, I had some questions I wanted to ask him. And that guy did not give a goddamn. I gave him $100 to have him sign some posters of mine. And he was just like, not having it.
$100?
Well, yeah, I got him to sign my Back to the Future poster.
Right.
Which has like 6 or 7 other signatures, and then a Demon Knight poster. It was $50 each.
God, just to sign something that's he didn't even have to give
Yeah.
just his signature.
Yeah. I could have
Fuck
used
that
a little,
guy.
maybe a little goddamn smile, for $100.
Yeah, really.
But,
Jesus.
Wow.
Vanessa Angel was great. She was so sweet. She was really funny too. So I like meeting her. Sam Todd was cool from Trick or Treat.
Yeah, she was really nice. I got an autograph for her for my daughter.
Tom Atkins was very cantankerous.
Dude, he was funny because he was right across from me, and I would listen to him all day. He was like, there were like 3 kids at one point, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think you're doing here?" They were like terrified, and they like walked away, and he started laughing.
I was at the little Starbucks in the lobby right before I left for the airport,
Mhm.
and I was getting a coffee, and he's in there. So we're like standing next to each other by this table, and he's dealing with a half and half thing. We kind of like acknowledge each other. So I like hold up a cheers with my glass, and I go, "Hey man, thanks for all the good movies or whatever." Just like a nod before I'm going to walk away.
Right.
And all of a sudden he starts bitching at me about how he can't get the half and half open, and nobody will help him himself. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that sucks. You probably should talk to that guy." He's like, "Yeah,
See you
okay."
later, fucker.
So anyway, he it got all like frazzled and stuff, and I was like, "All right, well, you take care of that, and I'll see you later."
That's so funny.
I was asking him what movies people ask him about the most, and he said, "Oh, it's Halloween 3 now." And it's probably because of Joe Bob. They bring it up every other episode. And he's like, I was like, "Oh, Joe Bob was here last time. I got to meet him. I was talking a little bit," and he's just like not having it. And then when I said, "Are you ever going to go on?" "No." "Really? Have they invited you?" "Many times." "And you're not going to go on?" He says, "Let me think of how I can say this. I don't give a shit about Joe Bob." It's like, I thought he was joking, and he was not joking.
But yeah, I mean, but all in all, he was a fun guy. He was having a good time with it, but he'd have his moments.
He doesn't suffer fools or bullshit.
Nor
at
should
all.
he at his age.
Or small talk. But he wasn't being mean, because every time like I went to leave, he would like talk to me again, and then he shook my hand when we left, and like but he didn't want to talk about Joe Bob or Halloween 3. He didn't give a fuck.
That's funny. See, I had a good time with PJ Souls, who, after I explained to her how I wanted to see her at Chiller and that whole convention got fucked by the alarms, she starts writing an autograph, and I'm like reaching to her while she goes, "No," she goes, "Dude, take it. It's all yours." Now she was to the right of me, and she was like, "You're part of the horror community. That's no problem." And I was like, "Oh, if you want one of my books, you can have them." She goes, "I actually don't like horror." I was like, this is like, remember Jack, when I met the original Vampirella, the woman who played Vampirella?
Yeah.
So I said to her, "Oh, I'd love to give you one of my books." And she says, "Well, I'm almost blind, so I really can't read books." And she goes, "The only book I read is my book on tape of the Bible." And I'm like, "You're fucking Vampirella. Don't do this to me."
Doesn't that burn you or something?
It was weird. But
What's
I mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
What's the girl from Last American Virgin and Better Off Dead? Diane Franklin? Is that her
Diane
name?
Franklin, yes.
So my buddy Morgan, who was there, huge, the biggest Last American Virgin fan ever. So I went with him to go meet her. And she was another sweetheart, very nice to both of us. But Morgan's got like, the way I know Caddyshack, he knows Last American Virgin.
Right.
So they're having a conversation, and he's like trying to guard from being too much of a fanboy. But then he asked a couple of questions that she had never really thought of before. So he like passed this gate and was suddenly like he had clout with her. And they had this in-depth little conversation. And then every once in a while she'd look at me, and I'm like, "Did you ever meet the hamburger from Everybody Wants Some and Better Off Dead?"
I swear, we now know he used a sigil to cast a
Yes.
spell and get close to her. We know how it works with him now. We figured it out. By the way, we did meet some of you whack jobs who are here all the time. So Mr. Michael Clark and Josh Marcella. Although, Josh,
Lucas
you disappeared
Milliron.
on us. Who else?
Lucas Milliron was there
Oh, yeah.
with his insane book, Cocksucker.
Laurel Hightower and I shared some bourbon, and she kicked Jason's ass.
Yes, she did. I should say, just in case I was insane for any point of time Saturday, I'm pretty sure I had heat stroke, because people started posting pictures from like late afternoon into early evening that I don't really remember. And I like had books that I barely remembered buying. And it wasn't
God.
until like I was drinking a lot of beer later in the evening that I remember more, which is kind of the opposite of how it
That's
usually
weird.
goes. Yeah, and I had like a moment where I couldn't tell if I was wearing my glasses or had my contacts in, and I couldn't like
I was there
work
for that.
through. Yeah, like something was wrong with me for a couple hours there
It
after
might be
wearing that.
being dehydrated from dressing up like Bigfoot.
It was 100% from the Bigfoot costume, because when I was walking back, I was getting like really dizzy. Like I had to stop a couple times in the hallway and just like stand there.
I had to
So-
clean that damn thing.
So
It's not
Yeah,
easy.
sorry about that.
we should mention this was the first time the three of us are that Hunter and I have met Jason in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was magic.
Well, the funny thing is the first moment that I saw Jason, I'm talking to like Jonathan Jantz or something, and he comes up behind me, taps me, I look, and I'm like all excited to see him, but he's in the Bigfoot costume without the mask on. And he's like, and I'm like, hey, and he's like, Hunter needs me. There's timing. You have to hand me stuff. He's giving me this big mission about dressing up for Bigfoot for you. I'm like, suddenly on a mission for the timing for your presentation. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
didn't
was
even get to
important.
say hi. I was like, where the fuck's Hunter? I got to be
Yeah.
at this thing.
Who was going to hand out the beef jerky and buttons if you weren't there?
I know. It was an important job.
Would have been a mess.
Yeah, it was. That was the thing. That costume was freaking hot.
Yeah,
I know
a lot of
now.
now.
People took pictures.
And
So-
by the way, the only skirmish in the entire convention centered around us with security. So we're proud to say that.
I don't even know how much we should get into that.
We're not gonna. By the way, if you're listening to this, you fucking CeeLo green motherfucking looking asshole security guard, go fuck yourself.
Amen.
Wow. Okay. Well, there we go.
And that's far better than he treated us.
The dude cut a WWE promo on us. Like,
You want to go? You want to go? Ripping off his hat. Like, Jesus Christ.
but yeah, it was an absolute blast. I'm looking forward to doing it next year. It was cool getting to meet you guys finally.
Yeah, it was
and-
awesome.
The one thing everybody kept saying is, I didn't think you were so tall. I'm like, you only ever see me sit.
Exactly. We knew.
And
You and your-
it
you and your
bothers
brother
me
like
that
the Twin
Jonathan
Towers.
Jans is like half an inch taller than me. As soon as I'm staring, I'm like, God, I hate you even more now.
It's funny, but he doesn't look taller than you. He looks shorter.
It's my beefcake,
I think that's it.
my double chin. That helps too.
Just stand next to me.
Triple ass cheeks. All right.
But it was
that
awesome.
beautiful reminiscing about something that happened just a few days ago.
Whoever
And hopefully
wasn't
Jason
there
remembers it.
needs to go next year. Lutsky, I'm
Hell
talking to
yeah.
you. I'm talking to everybody else. You guys need to go. It's an absolute blast.
That's right. All right. Jack, this is the time when we do the news. Do you have anything?
Don't we want to do our drinking words first?
Oh, yeah.
That helps.
We talked so long, I forgot. Was out of the flow.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. Sheridan, you should be there next year too, you son of a bitch. For some reason, I doubt that, but you need to be there. Jack, your words are slasher, sky, and reporter. Hunter, yours are books, beer, and year. Mr. FOMO, we'll just skip him. He'll be there next year, supposedly.
Mm.
And my words are first, carry, and clown. And the bonus words are cereal, Bigfoot, and scares.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How many words are we up to? 1, 2,
lot.
3, and 4. Bullshit, Sheridan. You're not counting correctly tonight. You're fired. You're fired.
You're fired.
All right, Jack. Hit us with
Okay.
your best shot.
I did listen to last week's podcast and heard that Tim reported on that the Exorcist reboot sequel thing was going to actually now be 3 movies, and that Leslie Odom Jr. is going to star in it, and then the woman who plays the mother, Ellen Burstyn, is coming back for it. But the big question is Linda Blair coming back? Well, I saw an article today that says that she has said that she has yet to have discussions about participating in a new trilogy. But the way she said it totally leaves the door open for this to happen down the road. And if they're doing a trilogy, I could easily see her not being in the first one, and then she's the big reveal for the second one or something like that. But
That'd be
I
cool.
really hope they get her in there.
This is tough, though. 3 movies about an exorcism.
3 movies that are like $150 million each or something. Like,
Yeah, it's like a
Good
$400 million budget.
like, I don't understand any of it.
I don't get it either. I
And
mean, you
can you
did. Yeah,
imagine
you
it?
got a couple of good movies. You got one season of a good series. I mean, how much more can we milk out of this thing?
It's a good question.
I just hope they don't go crazy with CG and stuff like that, because the
Oh.
first Exorcist with all those practical effects and everything was
This
great.
is going to look like The Exorcism and The Conjuring Part 3.
Right. I mean, if they do that, the check, please.
But whatever. Linda isn't who needs to come back. It's Friedkin. Chad Lutsky, you are correct. By the way, he couldn't direct the way he did back then, shooting guns off and slapping people and shit like that. So I don't know. It's a different world.
All right. The other piece of news is, I don't know if you remember, a while back I reported that Universal was going to be making a movie, a Dracula movie from Renfield's perspective. Renfield.
This is so stupid sounding. Okay.
Well, we found out that the original story was actually something that Robert Kirkman.
Oh, I know that guy.
The original story was him, and then somebody else did the screenplay. But they've cast Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. Now he's the guy who played Beast in the X-Men prequels, and he was in.
Dude,
he's in everything now.
you have a guy who doesn't even need to study up fucking Crispin Glover.
Right?
Dude, done. There you go. We don't even need makeup. This guy looks insane, sounds insane, is insane.
The other thing is that they say that it's going to be told in modern day. So I don't know if it's Dracula modern day, or I don't know where this is going. Robert Kirkman, having written the original story, makes me feel better, because Invincible is tremendous. I'm watching that on Amazon. And so the guy knows how to tell stories, and the Walking Dead comic books were great.
I hope Renfield brings big dick energy when he's there. That's what I'm looking for. Modern day BDE.
If it's modern day, I hope it's as good as Blade Trinity when they had Dracula come back and he was Drake. That was so good.
Oh my
God. What the hell?
Oh. I hope you have a really uplifting third story.
Oh, there's no third one. That's all I got.
Oh, this is it? Holy crap.
There's nothing out there, and I'm
Totally
tired.
Deballed the industry. Okay. Here we go. It's only 3 of us, ladies and gentlemen, so maybe we can be done in less than an hour and a half. Let's go to the tape.
We have such sights to show you.
I will be honest, I didn't watch a fucking thing this past week because I was on vacation. So we were in Maine at first that had no TV or internet. So that wasn't going to happen. But I have a book I read. And when we get to scares, who was watching anything? Watching the room spin, maybe? So
before I went to Scares, I went to my buddy's cabin in the mountains. So we watched Evil Dead 2 one night, and that was so perfect. And I mean, Hunter, you saw
with the deer head
to head. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, Jason, what oldie are you pulling out to talk about today?
Well, I actually had kind of forgotten. I watched 2 movies before we left, and then I watched one today. So I actually have 3 things to talk about.
God damn you. I have them, but it's just, they're old.
Well, because Billy Zane was going to be there, my buddy Dave, who was with me, and his wife Pam, they had never seen Dead Calm. So
which is
Thursday
crazy.
night before we left, I was like, well, shit, we're watching Dead Calm then. This movie is so freaking good. It's basically 3 people the whole time: Nicole Kidman, Sam Neill, and Billy Zane, which is just a freaking amazing cast. And Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman are married. Their son dies in a terrible car accident, so they buy a boat and they're going sailing. Sam Neill's been in the Navy for 25 years or so. And as they're out there in the middle of nowhere, they come across a sinking boat with a crazy man on it who they don't know is crazy right away, but he's coming towards their boat in a dinghy, and they bring him on board, and he's kind of going nuts and passes out. And Sam Neill goes over to their boat to check out what's going on, and Billy Zane wakes up and takes off with Nicole Kidman. And an insane simple movie follows, and I freaking love it. That's a scandalous shot.
Billy Zane with hair.
Billy Zane with hair, and Billy Zane super sweaty in this movie.
Well, it's hot. They're on the water.
I asked him if his skin was like super waterlogged because I assumed they were just spraying him down between every shot, and he said it was some kind of like jelly kind of thing, like
Ugh.
yeah, some kind of oil. I think he said. So
Oh.
yeah, I got to be careful here. We're gonna get yanked off YouTube. But it's an amazing film, and if you haven't seen it, it's like I said, it's 3 people. There isn't even a lot of music for significant parts of the movie.
You watched this like a year or so ago, didn't you?
I might have.
I think you did. I remember you talking about this on the show.
It's a
You
damn
did a
good movie.
repeat.
Dude, I've probably talked about this. I have like 50 movies I go back to in a 2-year cycle.
So this doesn't count. You have to mute yourself, go watch a movie quickly. We'll just vamp and come back and give us another one.
Okay, just hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Watch all the Fear Streets again.
God damn it, Tim.
Yeah, screw you. All right, Jack, Sleepaway Champy.
Well, because I missed last week, Jason purposely picked the vampire movie to watch while I wasn't here.
Tim did, and I agreed to it.
No comment on what the aspect ratio of that movie was, but I watched Blood Red Sky on Netflix, and I'm here to endorse that movie. Good flick. It's Passenger 57, Snakes on a Plane, or Executive Decision, perhaps the greatest of all airplane movies besides Airplane, with vampires. So, and many others. There's Die Hardy stuff going on in there and everything. But you got a real like 30 Days of Night kind of vampire feel to it. More of a complex plot than you kind of think from the description of the movie. A mother and son getting on a plane, and she's a vampire. And there's hijackers. Very good movie. Like, this is probably going to be one of my top movies of the year.
Yeah,
really
it's
liked
definitely there right now for sure.
Everybody's talking about this movie too.
It's a good. This is what you want with your Amazon Prime or your Shudder or whatever. When you get something of this caliber, you're like, wow, I would have rented this and been happy paying for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Is it long? Is it like 2 hours long?
it's a tad long. If anything, they could have knocked a couple of minutes off it, but I'm sorry, it's not.
It moves well.
Right. Cool.
It tells a complete story too, so there's never anything that you really felt like didn't belong there. But
right. Except that guy.
that guy looks like Dracula from the Blade movie that you're talking about.
I think it is him.
Are you
I think it's the
serious?
same guy,
I was
yeah.
wondering if it was him or not.
That's funny.
So I agree with what you guys liked it. I also like it, and you
It's
reminded
damn
me.
good.
Remember that vampire movie I was talking about? It's called From the Dark. They were the couple. They're like in Scotland or something like that. And there's a vampire there.
Mhm.
They're vampires. There's several vampire movies that are going with this kind of like more monstrous vampire, and that's working pretty well.
You should
All right.
definitely watch it, Hunter. It's
Yeah, no, I do. I wanted to watch it when I got back, but we had to watch tonight's movie. So, all right, I reached way back into the Eye Vault, and I'm going to talk about a movie that a lot of people didn't know existed. I know when I was growing up, I had no idea. The Old Dark House. This is a Universal. It's not necessarily a monster movie, but it's a haunted freak show house movie from 1932. Directed by James Whale, the man who did the Frankenstein movies. So it has that it's about these 5 people. They're traveling on a dark, rainy night. The roads are flooded, and then they come upon this. It looks like a castle in the middle of nowhere, and they stay the night. So James Whale was great with his sets. His sets were kind of weird and impressionistic and enormous. Like whenever I used to see any set, I'd be like, how would you heat or air condition that when you have like a 40-foot ceiling? Like it would never get hot or cold enough to survive. Boris Karloff is in this movie, and Jason has a picture of him right there. He plays the kind of like I guess he's mentally challenged, and he's kind of like Morgan. By the way, Jack, your friend Morgan. He's Morgan, the insane butler. So he just kind of creeps in and out of the movie every now and then, and at one point when he gets drunk, Morgan gets very violent, and then you have like creepy old ladies, some dude upstairs that everybody talks about that you don't want to go actually see him. Everybody looks wacky in this movie. Melvin Douglas is in it. Charles Lawton is in it. These are like classics from way back in the day. This is a fun ass movie. If you like Frankenstein and Dracula, the Mummy, this should be part of your staple that you watch, because this is all happening at the same time. James Whale is the director of so many of these, so the aesthetic is in there. It's insane. I mean, I always think that this is like the basis for like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like Hooper took it to another level, but it's literally people coming upon a house of strange mother effers, and do you make it out alive or not? So the old dark house, you can get it on Prime now, and that actually there's a good transfer, because forever whatever you saw looked like garbage, but somebody finally got a hold of some good prints and patched them all together. So
I've never seen this. It's always one that I'd heard of, and
I love this movie. That and Spider Baby, if you move all the way to the 60s, those are like two, to me, bookends of that era that have to be watched, that don't get watched enough.
You got to see Spider Baby.
Yeah, that one's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's one you mentioned a while ago that I still haven't gotten to.
Oh, that's a staple here in the
That's
house.
got Sid Haig and Lon Chaney Jr.
Lon Chaney Jr. Young, very young, almost teenager Sid Haig, walking around eating things.
Nice. All right. I watched Everly on Shudder.
This is one of my favorite movies of all
God
time.
damn it. I have this bookmarked.
I have the
wish
Blu-ray.
You have the Blu-ray of this?
Dude, I saw this movie when it first came out, and I bought that Blu-ray ASAP.
I had never heard of this. I had no idea this was a thing. And I literally was just looking for a movie that was like pretty short so I could sneak it in before scares. And I saw Joe Lynch directed this. Selma Hayek is in it. Boom, I'm watching it. First of all, Selma Hayek was like 47 or something like that when they made this.
Yeah, and gorgeous.
Like, looked better than I think she's ever looked. I mean, she was in incredible shape in this.
Yep.
You would have absolutely no idea she was 46, 47 years old. I mean, she really kicks ass in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely low budget. It definitely, I don't know if he wrote it to try to be in like 2 rooms because he didn't have money, but it basically takes place in 2 or 3 rooms. And Selma Hayek is I almost said ex-wife or something like that of a mobster.
Well, she's like had been kidnapped, and like his
like his mistress. Yeah. And she decides it's time to end that arrangement and get out of her apartment where she's been captive for several years. And a lot of violence ensues. And a lot of Selma Hayek running around in dresses or
Underwear.
90s or whatever else. Sword play, gun play, torture foo. I mean, it's got kind of everything in it. Like
RPG
I said,
foo.
Yeah. It's a fun movie. If you're looking for something serious, this is not it. This is very over the top. I mean, it's a Joe Lynch movie. If you've seen some of his other things, you'll know the feel of it. But he definitely stretches $1 to its maximum in this. And
Dude,
and
I'm
Selma
telling
Hayek,
you,
she's great.
I watch this movie constantly. To me, it's like a Tarantino movie without stupid monologues.
How
every
dare you?
5 minutes. Look, I love Tarantino, but this is all action, all killer. And there's a scene in here that makes the Gimp scene in Pulp Fiction look stupid. Right?
I don't think I would go that far. but
Luckily,
The
Hunter
acid
never
torture
speaks
master?
You never speak in hyperbole.
Never.
So this was a fun movie.
I've seen this trailer. A friend of mine and I were I don't know. Somehow somebody mentioned it or something, and so I've been meaning to watch this, and you just reminded me of it. So I got to watch this ASAP.
My
It's
2
on
Salma
Shudder.
movies I'll watch all the time are Fools Rush In and that.
Wow. Fools Rush In and this.
Dude, Fools Rush In. Come on. That movie's awesome.
So yeah, it's good. it's simple. It's insane. Give it a watch.
It's on Shudder right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Can you top Salma Hayek? Are you going to give us a Felissa Rose dream you had last night? The bed is wet.
Okay, so I watched a movie that I'm going to say that I enjoyed, but it's one of these ones that's not for everyone. And somebody like a Chad Ludsky is going to watch this and like not like it and then hold a grudge against me for the rest of my life.
Oh, jeez.
I can't believe you like this movie. PC betrayed me.
Dude, that was a perfect Lutsky.
Yeah, man. It was like he was in the room with us.
It's called Untitled Horror Movie. It's like a 2021. It was filmed during the pandemic, and it is a found footage horror movie, but it's a comedy as well. So, this is, you remember that other one? What the hell was that called? The big one on Shudder?
Yes.
Host. That everybody went crazy for? If you loved Host or Host wasn't your thing, you should watch this because this is basically a group of actors who they did a lot of the work themselves, just like Host. They had to be separated, so they're with those limitations. But you'll recognize a few of the faces. Emmy Raver Lampton, who's from Umbrella Academy.
That's Catherine a household name.
Catherine, well, it's the girl from Umbrella Academy. You probably didn't watch it because you're out of touch with reality. Right. Catherine McNamara.
I'm an adult.
Oh, so yeah. Let's go down that road, you friggin' idiot.
All right. I know I'm an adult because I'm in a job I hate just to keep the benefits for the family. There we go. That's what adults do.
Catherine McNamara, my new crush. But other people in it. Cal Penn is a small role in this, and Aisha Taylor's in it as well. A small part.
Wow.
I like Cal Penn. He's fun.
I got a kick out of this movie. I can't say that I loved it or anything like that, but I'm glad I watched it and I got a kick out of it. And
there's a lot of blonde girls in that movie.
All the screenshots are of blonde women's faces.
That's Catherine McNamara and Claire Holt is the other girl.
There you go.
Girl.
Now, why did Jack like this movie?
I can't imagine.
The script was phenomenal.
This is a mystery.
That's the face she makes when Jack says you want to go out.
That's my new wallpaper, actually.
That's the other face which says again, you want to go out?
That's the same expression. What the?
They play up all the acting stereotypes, and there's a whole like Hollywood filmmaker thing going on. So again, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but I got a kick out of it. But I really think this is going to be one of those ones that you're either going to get a kick out of it or you're going to think that you just wasted your time. But it was an interesting because it was like the host, but done with a wink at the camera kind of thing. So
now, where can we find this gem?
That's actually you have to pay-per-view it right now.
Oh no, fuck that. But
wow.
I'll wait till it's free. I guarantee you, if I paid for it like next week, it will be on Shudder the week after.
I actually would recommend waiting till it's free.
I'm tired of getting burned like that.
But if you're like Jason's more of a found footage guy, if you're looking for something different, for the completist, check it out.
I would like to check that out. I've been actually fiending for found footage lately, so that sounds fun.
That sense has never been said.
See, Lutsky saw the blonde and he said he'll give it a chance. I love that
guy. Yeah, when he's done watching, he's gonna hate you.
Chad, I hope I've just prepared you for it. Just roll.
Tina, pay-per-view makes it sound more like porn. You're right. Wait, who pays for porn? Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the Bigfoot well because I've been talking about the Bigfoot movies a lot lately. So Willow Creek, which was out years before we started Final Guys. So I figured, let's talk about it. So I remember when I heard about this a year before it came out, it was like Bobcat Goldthwait is making a Bigfoot movie. And at first I was like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to see that. But then I started watching some of his other movies. I'm like, oh, dude, now I'm kind of excited. So 6 months in, nipples hard, waiting. Took a while to like get access to actually see the movie. This is top 5 Bigfoot movies. I know you're saying, "Oh, there's a lot of shitty Bigfoot movies. What does it take to get top 5?"
I'm sorry, but I'm an adult. I don't watch those kinds of movies.
Shut up, Johnny. I'll fucking come over there. So this movie is about a couple who is going to Bluff Creek, to where the Patterson Gimlin film was shot, and they're going to do a little squatching. And it's like shot actually, in the town, and it's a found footage movie. So we know this is Jason's boat floater.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of this movie has some laughs, which you could tell this is Bobcat's kind of influence in the script, I think. And then, there's some typical crap that you go through in found footage movies, and people, I don't know whether they're trying to act bad or if they're just bad actors. It is what it is. By the way, that dude that they were interviewing with the guitar and the harmonica is worth the price of admission right there. That's like Bobcat just going, yeah, these are the kind of people who believe in Bigfoot.
That's every Hunter's Hellion member.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, you're insulting the fan base here, dude.
God damn it. So they get to a point where this couple kind of gets lost naturally, because this place is in the middle of nowhere and they're not prepared. And there is the last third of this movie is mostly them in this tent at night. And it's tense as hell. And I found out that
It's tense.
Bobcat did not tell them what they were going to do. So basically, they're sitting in this tent reacting to what's going on outside. And the woman who was in it was really freaking the hell out during this. So I love the first half, the middle dragged a little bit, and the last third I thought killed it. I thought it was a really fun movie, and it was worth all the nipple chafing I was having in my shirts every day waiting for this to come out. So I always I always put this in like top 3 of Bigfoot movies. So you should, if you haven't seen it, you definitely got to watch it. What'd you guys think of it?
I liked it a lot.
I put it in top
good.
45 Bigfoot movies.
Top 45. You and I are having a problem tonight. This is the end of a lot of things.
The way I'm treating you is the way you treat us with every movie.
I am so sick of your face.
I thought this movie was okay, but I thought Exist was way better.
I like Exist more as well.
Oh, Exist is way better.
But
that's
this is probably, this is definitely a top 5 Bigfoot movie, just off the top of my head. I mean, how hard is that? And even found footage. I mean, it's up there.
Right. It's
like when you say the top 10 shark movies, and you're like, so there's Jaws. And then
Shark Night.
Then Shark Night. You know what I mean? Like it's only a couple of crown jewels.
Yeah.
5-headed shark attack.
The famous scene in this had a very Final Guys quality. Not Final Guys, Jesus Christ.
What? It was terrible?
Family Guy quality, where it's like, okay, this is intense. All right, this is getting ridiculous, and I'm out. Oh no, I'm coming back. It's getting intense again. It was like it went on so long that I was hitting like all the emotions. So
yeah,
at times I'm like, okay, what? Stop. And then other times I'm like, hey, all right. So yeah,
I actually found the beginning part interesting, to just see the whole area where you go, like as a tourist. That was I would actually like to go there sometime and check.
That's our tour guide. Hello, Jabba Caroni. Thank you so much. I hope you appreciate my name tonight. All right, Jason, your turn.
I missed the vanilla faces. Sorry.
I got to go get a beer.
Too much shit going on. Well, I finally watched a movie one of you had talked about not that long ago. It might have been Tim. I don't remember. Dolls.
Oh, we've all talked about this. I saw it not that long ago, and then I think it came on Shudder, and we were talking about it again.
Yeah, so I was going through Shudder thinking, I should probably get my subscriptions money's worth from this thing. I hadn't, basically since Joe Bob wasn't on, I hadn't turned it on. So I thought, Stuart Gordon, it's like 77 minutes. Yeah, 77 minutes. I'm like, this is a strange one.
Yeah.
There's basically no story. People show up at a house and there are dolls that kill everyone. I mean, it is minimal story, minimal character work. People just show up at this house and walk in at several different times. Nobody knocks. at least the second people don't walk. They just come in. They're like, "Oh, it was raining," so I thought I could just walk into your house.
Yeah.
This is strange, but it's fun. It particularly at the beginning, it has like this comical music going
That thing.
Yeah. Oh,
that
fucking
really
teddy bear.
doesn't fit like the later parts of the movie. But anytime the dolls are in it, it's great. I love the stop motion. I love the. I mean, I don't know how many times you'll see a little doll sawing at someone's ankle with a little saw. So it's definitely not one of my favorite Stuart Gordon movies, but at 77 minutes with some cool doll stuff, it's really hard to complain.
Dude, again, top 4. I mean, I love this movie. It's so much. It's so 80s.
This is
so
like
80s.
a good double feature with like Tourist Trap. It's got that just kind of like weird aesthetic to it. This
Yeah.
one's got the stop motion stuff going on.
It's very strange.
It's a wacky movie.
And yeah, there's no story. It just people are driving down the road. There's a house. Let's go in. Hey, there are dolls here.
And Stuart Gordon's wife is such an asshole in this movie.
Which one is his wife?
She's Carolyn Purdy's Gordon. She's the uptight one who was the mother of the the stepmom of the little girl.
Yeah. Okay. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yes, she was terrible in this.
Oh God.
Look
She's
at
really
that.
terrible.
Look at these photos. They're such an 80s cast.
It's so ridiculous.
I mean, they're right out of what's it? Night of the Demons. Look at those.
Yeah, or Return of the Living Dead.
yeah, and the cheese ball music playing. I'm like, oh my god, this is aggressively 80s. But it's fun. You know, it's not a life-changing movie, and I think that's probably why it kind of escaped me, even though I've watched so many of his other things. It's just a dead simple little movie, and you have fun with it.
Yeah. Totes my goats.
Am I up?
Jackie? Yes, you are.
I read a book. The sea was angry that day, my friend. Like
Sounds like a Hemingway book.
Like an old man sending back soup in a diner.
Jack would know. What did you send back today?
Armand Rosamilia. This is a really good summer read right there. Short book. The sea is angry at mankind and is fighting back. Hunter, have you read this yet?
I have not. He didn't put me in it, so why bother?
Yeah. Fast pace. It's basically sea life starts to fight back, and it all takes place in Florida, and it's people on the run and trying to deal with rising I'm not going to give away too much, but it's a really fun. And I'm telling you, if you're sitting by the beach reading this, you know you'll be thinking twice about jumping in the water. Armand, great guy, and
Yep. We love him.
Okay, guy.
Wow.
Let's take it easy here.
hey,
Shot
first
across
of
the
all,
bow.
he likes bourbon. He likes baseball. What's not to love about this guy?
Exactly.
Looks
And-
like Tank Abbott.
And a lot of shitty food. I love his pictures on Instagram. Like, oh my God.
Yes.
I was so pissed at him for not going to Scares this year. That's such bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Whatever.
Oh man, I would have loved for him to be there. I drank enough bourbon with Laurel. I would have been.
I wanted to
A
steal
lot of-
one of his he has these great racks for his book displays. Or taking one.
His wife is the best too.
Yeah.
Be careful what you say around her. She remembers every goddamn thing from every conversation.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that could work against me.
Uh-huh.
That'll
careful.
never happen.
So did he send you this book?
Oh sure, of course
Why
he did.
do I have this?
He
still on
did?
you?
Come
Yeah,
on.
when we were on we had my Monster Men,
Right.
he said, "I'll send you a book." Boom, and he delivered.
I
'Cause
buy
he's the man.
everything. I don't get it. Whatever.
God.
And now, the Kingmaker has blessed this book, and
The
Sure.
Kingmaker. All right, Oprah.
Amazon is probably broken right now with people ordering this. So to my legion, I say, go and buy this book.
I say
Get
go
that
and beg
blessing.
for a book.
That is a great cover, by the way. I
It
love
is.
that.
Really cool cover.
It is. Is that Severed Press?
Yes.
It is, yeah. I thought so. Awesome, man.
Very nice.
All right.
I'm tapped out.
Well, I read a book while I was on vacation. I went to Barnes and Noble and found a book. It's called The Hiding Place by C.J. Tudor, who is it was in the horror section. It's kind of horror adjacent, but CJ Tudor she's a very good writer. So she's British, so this is set in an English town that had a mine that's been kind of like closed up over the years, and there's this guy coming back there. He's a teacher, and he gets a job in his old school, and he was kind of not the best kid in the world. And there's a lot of dark secrets in this town, and you're trying to figure out like why is he really there. We do find out he's a huge gambler with a huge debt, so maybe he's there on the run. But there's actually something that went on in the past with him and his group of lads. Some shit that went down in the mines when he was a kid, and the premise of the story is that his sister disappeared, and they assumed she was dead, and when she was very little, and then came back. So I will tell you, the main character is such a fuck up. Like, I love characters like this, that they're total fuck ups, but he's such a wise ass. I just love the banter that he had with everybody who he approached, because everybody instantly, either they know him and hate him or just met him and hate him. He's like one of those kind of people. And they all know he's there to stir up shit. So they're making his life miserable. I mean, this guy's getting beaten every 30 pages. But it's cool because it goes to a dark and familiar place, which it went to somewhere where I would have normally just said, oh, screw this book. I would have, like the last 100 pages, I wouldn't even read the book. Because I was like, oh, well, this is obviously a ripoff of something else. But it was these characters are so engaging. I had to finish the book, and it was really good. So I'm now a CJ Tudor fan.
Nice.
I think this is her second book, so I got to get the first one.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can
Sounds
get it
like
at
a good one.
B&M. It is. And that's it for me. Are we all done?
I'm done.
Spent.
All right, show's over. Or we could review Vicious Fun. What do you think? Want to go for it?
Do it.
All right.
Done.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right, Jack, I hope you're prepared.
I watched it like 3 weeks ago, so it's going to be very brief.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude, it's not like it's a deep story here.
Summed up in 2 sentences, I'll bet.
A horror critic accidentally ends up in a self-help group for serial killers.
Done. Look at
Nailed
that.
it.
1 sentence. Amazing. Supposedly this movie came out in 2020, but did you guys see it anywhere before
This
this year?
counts for 2021 for me.
Good. All right.
Is it one of those that hit a couple festivals or like online festivals? And
I mean, literally, what went on in 2020?
yeah, exactly.
Nothing. So we're going to say this is 2021. So brand spanking new on Shudder and Heatstroke. If you can think straight, if your heat stroke is over, what do you think?
I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. Cool idea. I thought the main guy had some funny lines, some funny stuff. Sometimes it was a lot. Particularly one of the killers. There was a lot of overacting in this movie.
Was there?
Just
I didn't notice.
just a little. So it's one of those things where if that kind of humor lands with you, then you're probably really going to like this. With me, sometimes I was just like, wow, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. But
Yeah.
cool cast in other ways. I can't think of the big guy's name. He used to be a wrestler.
Oh, that was the guy who was in that Kevin Smith movie, that horror movie that he did.
Kevin, not Smith.
He's in that movie, yeah.
No, not Kevin Smith.
Kevin James.
With
Kevin
the little
James.
girl's name.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't
But
think of
Robert
the name of
Maylett, I don't know how that
it. Yeah,
how to
that
say
guy.
his name.
Yeah. He gets better in every movie I see him in. He's
scary.
He is intense, man.
You had anything for Jackson guy?
Yeah.
As
Yep.
Clown?
Oh my God, he was. I will say that. What was his name? Fritz. Because these are all serial killers. They are Fritz. These are all serial killers that this kid walks in this like support group. Fritz was my favorite by far. I want a whole movie of just Fritz.
And then you also had Tank from Anchorman. Whammy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the woman, I can't think of her character name. She was actually my
Scary.
favorite. my favorite actor of the movie. I thought she did a pretty damn good job. She's much more straight laced than everyone else.
By far.
Yeah, it was probably 20 minutes could have been cut out of this, and that would have helped me a lot. It felt like towards the middle, it kind of lagged a little bit, but it was an enjoyable little sit down, watch a movie on Shudder kind of thing.
What do you think, Jack?
Well, I'm the one who saw this and suggested it because it's on Shudder, and I thought it was a fun movie. I can understand where Jason's saying like, not love. I really enjoyed this movie, but I can see where a couple of the jokes don't land, and they maybe could have gone a little bit further with some of the things they did. But overall, as a package, I enjoyed it and would say, oh, that was a refreshingly good movie for Shudder. Like,
Right.
So I got a kick out of the whole thing. So and I thought that all the serial killers were really good. And then I thought it got better as it went along. So like I think I like the second and third act got better for me as it went.
Yeah. You know what? I'm in lockstep with you because first of all, I like the 80s aesthetic to this movie.
Yeah. The movie looks great.
It looks great. The synth music is really good. This whole era is going to be known as the 80s regurgitation.
Yeah.
I mean, good God. What was it like in the 2020s? Oh, it's just repeating shit.
Was everything pink lighting?
Yeah, exactly. In the very beginning, I had a tough time with the main character, Evan, Joel. His real name is Evan. Talking like this, and he had a weird talking that just irritated the shit out of me. And he was just too goofy. And then when he's in the bar with the killer, Bob, that dude who played Bob, his acting was so distracting. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are your choices?
It was very over the top.
Yeah, to the
It
point
was
where
kind
it's
of going
like
for a Joker thing.
a Joker and what's his face? All right. McConaughey. It was like doing McConaughey. It was like a whole lot. I was like, oh my God. But I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Because once he woke up in that storage room and came into the support group, I thought this was a shit ton of fun. I loved Carrie. She was amazing. Oh, David Koechner is in this, by the way. He's leading the support group.
That's the Whammy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I know him as David Koechner, like his real name, not Whammy. But yeah, I thought this movie was a ton of fun. I liked it a lot to the point where I'm thinking this might be on my list by the end of the year. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I was tired and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't feel good, and I turned it on. I was like, oh crap! It kept me engaged the entire time. So
I could see this making my top list. I enjoyed it a lot. But like I said, I don't know if I'd put it in line like a horror comedy Hall of Fame thing or anything like that. Because I said I thought it could have used a little filing here and there. Like I said, I thought like when we get into spoilers, there was a couple of kills or things like that I thought maybe if they'd gone a little bit more slapstick or over the top with it, I thought they kind of took the foot off the gas in a couple of spots where they should have accelerated.
Right.
No, I agreed with that too while I was watching it. I kept saying they either need to go one way or the other a little more. Like I don't care which way, like a little more serious and hardcore or a little more like ridiculous. But overall, it wasn't a big thing. Honestly, the part that lost me the most was when they go to the police station. It felt like most of the interactions with the cops just could have been cut out and the movie would have been better for it.
Those cops are such weirdo dicks. We didn't need much more time with them.
No, right to the part where they're in the cells. Like you could have just started that scene there and moved on. And I feel like it would have really helped the pacing a lot.
I agree.
So if you just took that chunk out and that one guy's, I don't know what that performance was. I'm sure it was some kind of direction, some kind of tone they were going for, but it was a lot. Those are really my two big issues with it. Otherwise, I was blown away at how good it looked. Like it looked phenomenal. I don't know what the hell they did, what they shot it on, but it looked great. The sound was great. Yeah, the woman who played Carrie, I really thought she did a good job.
Oh, well, yeah, because you would think, oh, that's Cassie from my books.
I literally said that, by the way.
Exactly.
I was like, I need to cast her if it ever happens.
I like the Bob guy more than you guys, I think, because I thought He was
I
the
hated him.
needed presence because clown guy was really good.
Great.
But the sort of assassin guy, he was sort of underused.
Yeah, for sure.
Who else was there? Well, there's the big guy. He was okay. They could have done a little bit more with all those guys.
They absolutely could have, but Bob was just distracting. He was in an over-the-top movie. He was so over the top. He was like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And the cop thing.
This is from the guy who wrote Swamp Monster Massacre.
That's right, man. You introduce him, establish him really quick, kill him, move on. This is how you do it. You're in that book. Don't complain about it.
Bob the Skunk Egg killed me in that book.
Exactly. So my thing with the cops was that scene was so long, and we're kind of establishing these cops' personalities, and the whole time we're thinking, well, they're gonna die anyway. Who the fuck cares what they're really like, right?
Because you care more when you care for the person or hate.
I didn't care at all. They were such assholes, except the one guy who was reading the Vicious, whatever that magazine was, Vicious Fanatics. Yeah.
I did like his interaction with the filmmaker at the beginning, where he's just being a total dickwad to that director.
Oh,
he's
what an asshole!
Lazy writing, got it. Like that was good stuff.
I was thinking if that guy was interviewing any of us, we'd just punch him in the throat and tell him to get lost.
Yeah, that he was such a douche. So yeah, I had fun with it.
Okay, let's get to spoilers.
I thought it was communion. Okay, spoilers.
Or communion.
Look at Lutsky. It was tough during the cop scene.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. You're right. They could have knocked a little bit of the cop scene off.
Chad couldn't wait to take a nap.
But so all right, so the kid and the girl lock themselves in the kitchen. The assassin guy gets in the kitchen, and then they end up like killing him with like his own intestines or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. They were big intestines.
That was great, but like that scene, I was like, I felt like that right there could have gone a little bit more zany or something. Like I thought it was a little flatter. It was great, but like
zanier than getting choked by your own enlarged.
Yeah, because it was almost like they did. Like you ever see Machete? Like that. That scene
yes,
with
that was great.
Like when you're going to do something that silly, it was almost like they were trying to also kind of make it serious. I don't know. I just thought like they could have got a little bit more over the top with some of that kind of stuff.
It would have been funny if while she was pulling it, it burst and the zany intestine went on the guy. That would have been really funny.
Oh, Jesus. Chad says every time the kid puked, he laughed out loud. I liked that. Gagged. I actually wanted a little more of that. Like, it felt like he didn't do it like in the middle of the movie. I would have liked a little bit more in there. Every time something gross happens, he just pukes.
More puke, please.
I enjoyed the whole showdown in the hospital at the end.
Oh yeah, that was very Halloween too.
Yeah,
that's the vibe I was getting right there.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
We just wanted to see Carrie live. That's all we wanted.
That is correct.
She's badass and pretty damn good looking.
I like that her character was much more reserved. I thought it was a good contrast to the kind of zany quality of a lot of the other performances.
Well, because they're truly insane, and she's not.
What do you think of the main kid? Did he grate on you at all?
He did.
Yeah, he did a couple times. I thought he was really funny at times, and other times it was too much.
Right. Yeah. I didn't like his face. I didn't like his voice. It's like there were points I was like going, "Oh man, I really hate this guy's an." Well, they've established he's an asshole, right? Like he's just a schmuck in every possible way. And it was so mad. I was like going, "Is this like an extra on Three's Company or something? Like, what is he? What is he doing here?"
Yeah, I don't even want to say it was like there were bad performances in this because there was so much over the topness that clearly that's what they were being told to do. Right. It didn't always land with me. Sometimes I was like,
But that's fine. I grew to he grew and he's like a fungus. He grew on me.
Again, I think by the end I liked him more, which is
I agree.
Especially that last scene.
Yeah, he was so good in the last scene at the drive-in. Yeah, he was great in that. If that had been his thing throughout, I think it would have really picked the movie up some. He was great in that.
By the way, did you laugh out loud in the hospital scene when he was like, "Hey, look, I didn't even gag," and he just puked all over.
Yeah, that was very well done.
And I did like the fact that he didn't get the girl, and that
Either one of them, yes.
right, and that Cash didn't be like, "Oh yeah, I really want to bang this idiot." Like, no, you're an intern. I'm going to use you up.
That was well done because I was afraid that's where they were going to go. That he was going to be with one of them, and I'm like, no,
he deserves no one.
I also loved when the guy from Anything for Jackson goes from like weird accountant guy to suddenly he's a killer clown.
Crazy clown. Good God.
Yeah, that was a shift.
That was cool.
I liked it though.
I was psyched to see him.
Yeah, that guy's a good actor. I like when he pops up.
I don't know if I wanted him to remain the accountant or the clown. Like, I don't know, but both.
I'm glad to see him do it because in Anything for Jackson, when he's on the phone with the cop, and the cop's like, he's like, "Don't come over," and she's like, "I'm coming over," and he hangs up like, "Damn!" and he's screaming. And
yeah,
I was glad to see let that side of him come out more in this movie.
Yeah, no, I would almost like to see another movie that gives background on them.
Yeah.
And then you could do a third movie that has Cassie going around trying to find the guy who killed her. Who knows who? Someone close to her.
I wouldn't mind seeing a road movie with the two of them tracking down more serial killers and the Firebird they stole from the douche.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Exactly. Maybe this is a setup for an incredible trilogy.
Yeah. And like I said, I really like that last scene. If that was the tone of the whole movie, this 100% would have been in my top 10.
Right. How much would you like to see Cassie team up with Psycho Gorman? Because both movies also have that same kind of visual audio aesthetic. I think the two of them would be amazing. And that little girl, because she's evil.
Oh,
and the little kid could turn into a brain.
Hey, somebody had a great Psycho Gorman shirt at Scares That Care. Did you see that guy? I stopped him. I'm like, dude, can I see that shirt just a little bit? I was like, oh my God, that shirt is awesome.
Yeah, I wonder if we can get any at Fright Rags or something. That'd be a good shirt.
Someone's got them. We just need to go online.
I'm sure T Public has them.
At this point, whenever somebody asks you, where'd you get something? Don't you feel like, why don't you just fucking Google it, weirdo?
Yes.
Stop asking me this question.
That's people on Twitter. They ask you things like, in the time it took you to write that, you could have just put it into like your Amazon to see if it's there.
Yeah, what do I say? Psycho Gorman shirt. How about that one?
So which soup did you guys send back?
I sent back the navy bean. It was too cold.
Oh God.
By the way, what's your favorite soup, Jack? I bet it's tomato bisque.
Let me ask you a question, Jason. Do you understand that reference, the sea was angry that day?
Was what?
The sea was angry that day? Do you get that reference?
Nope.
It's a friggin' Seinfeld reference, you idiot.
You don't watch Seinfeld. You didn't watch that, right?
Yeah, I've watched all the Seinfelds.
Oh, you have?
Sea was angry that day.
I was just talking to somebody who said they'd never watched an episode. I forget who it is.
No, I have them all, but I don't have all 220 episodes memorized or whatever that was.
Oh, well then. You're definitely not an
I'm just not as smart as you guys are, okay?
You're not as hip, baby.
Look, we all wasted our times on different things. Seinfeld is our thing.
I just said I watched it.
Dolores!
I watched all of them. I watched that and Friends at the same time. I wasn't that guy who was on either side of the fence for whatever reason.
You know what? This is incredible. This is an admission that you watch Friends. I never thought you would say that.
I love Friends, yeah.
It's the only Friends he has.
Yeah, that's true.
See, that's what was missing from last week's show. Actual humor.
Jason was all about Phoebe, I bet. I wanted to get that stink face smelly cat. No. Seriously, back in the day, like we all know, like Jennifer Aniston came out on top. She passed the finish line. But back in the day, in the 90s, which was the one for you?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah. From like Ace Ventura on, I thought she was, that was my girl.
Jack, come on, tell us. You know you're going to say Chandler. My little bingaling. Like, who was your favorite? Yeah. Who was your fantasy? I might be wrong. It might be Ross.
Jennifer Aniston, I thought, was the hottest one. Courtney Cox was a sort of sentimental favorite. And I think in real life, Phoebe was like the one you'd actually want to hang out with.
Really?
But I wasn't really obsessed with the Friends girls. It was other TV girls I was more into.
Oh, Melrose Place, 90210.
Heather be thy name.
There we go. I know.
Oh, Kelly from 90210. Are you kidding me? Let's go.
Who is Kelly? Which one was she?
The blonde.
There we go.
Jenny Garth.
Jenny Garth.
Sweet Jenny Garth.
She still looks pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's on Riverdale.
See,
I might be
Colin
wrong.
Farmer. Was that a titleist? He gets the reference from Seinfeld. Farmer MVP.
Is that the one where the golf ball
Kramer's
goes in
hitting
the
golf
whale
balls
hole?
into the water. And George saves the whale. He's like, the sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man sending back soup.
I met the soup Nazi once. He was
I've
in the
seen him.
supermarket. I went in there
Really?
and I see a crowd. And I'm trying to get around the crowd, and there's a soup Nazi looking all dour, trying to sell his fucking pre-made soups.
He was at Schiller, but instead of the soup Nazi, it said, did it say soup Nazi? Or his
has
restaurants
to.
were the real soup man.
The soup man, but he was the soup
At
Nazi.
Schiller,
I guess
you
you can't
Nazi.
be. That could be wrong. Maybe we can't say soup Nazi anymore. I don't
was
want to
gonna
offend
say.
Nazis.
So you have to be like the soup
Soup man.
World War II bad guy now?
Yeah, God forbid we insult a Nazi. That would be rough. Quick aside, one of my grandfathers was German, and my dad, I get a lot of me is from him. He's the fucking instigator. So one year, my grandfather's at the house celebrating his birthday. It was like, his 75th or whatever. And as my mother's bringing out the cake, my father had the radio preloaded for Nazi marching music. Just fucking blasted it. My grandfather looked like he was gonna kill him. Oh, I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I missed those two. They were nuts. Wow, look at that. We have devolved into conversations about Friends, Seinfeld, Nazis. I think that means the show's fucking over.
It's time to end this pain.
That's not pain. This is like the best part usually. Who cares about the other stuff? People can watch a fucking movie on their own. This is learning about us. Like, oh, Jason's
what's
tired.
so
He's
painful
yawning.
about this?
Nothing's painful at all.
Yeah, whatever. So,
Shut up.
do we know what we're watching next week, or we haven't
Are
decided?
you still dehydrated from the Bigfoot suit?
Actually, I am a little bit. My lips are still dry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's taking you days to overcome this.
I was like eating a ton of pickles and pounding water trying to like rehydrate.
So, yeah, we don't know what we're watching next week. We don't know if Tim will re-sign his contract for another year. We don't know if Jason will recover. This is tough. But all I know is Jack and I are going to enjoy a lot of bowls of soup.
Actually, back to the soup question. I like New England clam chowder a lot.
Oh, that looks
Or
like,
its cousin corn chowder.
yeah, that looks like lumpy cum. That's disgusting.
I won't eat Manhattan clam chowder. That's garbage. Garbage water.
I love Jason's subtle expressions when I say something's totally weird. I'm
I
an
was
Italian
not
wedding
expecting
soup
that.
guy. I love Italian wedding soup. That's why I married an Italian, so she can make me little meatballs and pasta and like broccoli water.
I like Boston cream soup.
All right, we're done. Nobody knows what the fuck is happening next week. It'll be movie. It'll be some movie. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Jason's trying to hold back every yawn.
Dude, it just hit me hard. I'm hurting. I still got
He's-
to edit and post this damn thing.
Oh, you know what? Hey, everybody, can you wait just a little bit tomorrow? Do you need it right now? No. Let's all let Jason get some sleep tonight. So drink a little bit of water, take a little tinkle, and go to bed.
Oh, thank you.
Doctor's orders.
I'm still posting it as soon as we're done.
Dr. Shea says, do what I say.
Dr. Shea.
Dr. Shea. They call me Dr. Shea. All right. So as always, we ask you at the end of the show. Well, we don't always ask you, but we ask you to, tell your friends about us, rate us, like us, spread the word. And if you don't, we're still going to keep coming back. So whatever.
We haven't had a review on iTunes in forever, so come
Really?
on. Somebody help us out here.
Come on, farmer.
Jesus. I don't
Yeah,
have
farmer.
iTunes. How many
Michael
reviews
Clark
do we have
books.
after 4 years? 5?
Michael Clark Books could leave us a
30, I don't
review on iTunes, couldn't he?
Yeah, whatever.
Until next week, gentlemen.
Yeah, this is a blast.
Arrivederci.
Me and Jack are going to stay up longer than you.
Bye.
Later.